Hello! I hope this is working for you. The internet connection has been a bit dodgy recently, so give us a shout if it goes down, or if you can see me and hear me. That would be lovely. Welcome to Embroidery livestream. Embroidery? Whoa, okay. Embroidery livestream number 2. Last week I nearly managed to finish my Opaz face here, so I'm just going to continue with that, and I've got some nice little blues out to get cracking on his shirt. How are you all doing? No mum, I can't see you. It's a one-way it's a one-way thing, but let's video chat soon again. That would be lovely. It's like being a radio presenter. Like I can read comments, and I can see what you are chatting about, but I can't see any of you. You can only see me. I'm gonna get cracking. I should have a glass of water first. Let's go. Hey, hiya. Got the parents. Woohoo! Both of the parents on the live stream. Right, let's have a look. What colour have we got here? I'm gonna do a slightly darker one. Coming back to it after a week, I've got to remember what I'm doing again and what colour palette I'm using, and yeah, I think that one's probably the right one for that. I did get some feedback from last week that my mic was kind of crackly because I'm just using my laptop mic, so I'm going to find a new one next week, so that you can get all the tasty little ASMR sounds that happen when like the needle gets pulled through, and the thread sewing noises, so that'll be nice. Hey! It's embroidery number 2. It's a family affair. Hello, how are you? Have you seen the new Pixar movie Soul? I watched it the other day and it's amazing. It's so beautiful. Like the theme is beautiful. That like, I mean, it's Pixar, can do no wrong. But like, yeah. After Inside Out, which I thought was really amazing, they did Soul, and it just like, watch it. It's really beautiful. Highly recommended. Right. First stitch of embroidery session 2. It's gonna go here. Oh, did you like it? Yeah, it is really good, isn't it? It's a proper like have a box of tissues handy. Like, I mean, I didn't cry, but it was close. I welled up, and that's a lot. For me anyway. I realised the last time that I did a live stream and left it on YouTube, so it was visible afterwards, I was talking, but I wasn't really sure what I was talking about or who I was talking to, or so I'm just chatting to my family on the chat. So I've got mum and dad and my sibling Al. So yeah. Are you all embroidering too? You don't have to. That's not a requirement. Last time there was someone who said that helped them do their tax returns, just having another presence who was also working. So yeah, do what you want. Snowball mic. Okay, that's been recommended, a snowball mic. I will have a look. I think maybe one of my housemates has got one, so I will have a look for next time, so you get less of this sort of static, crackly noises going on. We're all embroidering. Yes, that's I mean, if you want to embroider, that's delightful, but it's not necessary. I'm hoping today I can finish Opa's hair, which is going to be quite fun, little wispy greys, and face, and maybe move onto the shirt. Right, the shirt's going to be fun. Like, you can probably see it up here, far clearer than here, but the shirt is kind of checkered, so that's going to be, I don't even know how I'm going to sew that. That's going to be really fun. A challenge. I love a challenge. Oh, lovely. Enjoy your dinner, Mum. If you want to pop me on a chair or on the side of the table, I can join you for dinner. Ooh, pardon me, a little burp there. I had a vegan burger for dinner that I made, which was totally excessive, and I had to go and lie down for an hour afterwards because it was just a little bit too much. But I've learnt my lesson this time. Great. I'm being recommended Grayson Perry's new art show, asking for admissions with the theme family. I have looked at that, but not in much depth, so I'll have another look at that. That's a really interesting theme for this year, when a lot of us have not been able to see our families, so I'd be curious to see that exhibition and what comes out of it. Maybe I will enter this in. Or a copy of it, because the original is going to be sent to my Opa and Oma. Okay, I think I'm done with that little bit of colour there. Okay. So we've got a little darker pink there, just to get the highlight under the chin. I think I'm actually going to go in with an even darker colour, just to make that separation between face and chin really obvious. So darker than this, I think it's going to be this one. Yeah. What have you been up to this week, everyone? It's been really, really cold and drizzly here in Nottingham, so I've been going in Nottingham. Did I say Nottingham? No, that's where I used to live, in Liverpool. Yeah, I might still be digesting. That's why I'm mixing up my words. In Liverpool, cold, rainy, classic England January. But when it is blue skies, it's beautiful because it's just cold and crispy, and you can see your breath like a dragon, and it's really lovely to have a little wander around the parks. Really been enjoying that. Oh, nice. Big bonfire in the forest is what Dad's been up to. That sounds amazing. It sounds like hard work, but it sounds really fun and lovely to be out in nature and out doing stuff. Usually with this kind of hoop, I can show you, I'd have one hand underneath, what am I doing? Pulling the needle down and then poking it back up again, and then one hand on top taking it and poking it back down, and that would be a lot quicker. But I usually do it this way round because this is the hand that pokes up quicker, and if I do that you can't actually see anything that I'm doing, which is why I am just doing it with one hand up and down, which means all of my stitches are really accurate, but it does take a little bit longer, but I'm okay with that. I'm in it for the long run. It's going to take a while. The last embroidery I did this size took around 30 hours, so yeah, I'm up for it. I was asking for song recommendations last time, and someone recommended Phoebe Bridgers, who I think you might enjoy, Dad. Phoebe Bridgers, yeah, I can send you some songs from her. Yeah, I think you might enjoy them. that's probably all of that colour that I want to do. Maybe a tiny little bit there. Yes. And I've got loads of that bit of thread left. So I'm gonna... Okay, yeah, I will send you a playlist after this. So you go here. Right, and then we need a darkest one. Maybe this one even. Yeah. Welcome to Embroidery Mumbles, where I look at different colours and decide which one is best. Maybe this one. Maybe that one. Yeah, that Coyote video by Phoebe Bridges was recommended to me today, and it's great. It's just like really bad, sort of really, bad good green screen of places in Coyote with the singer kind of pasted on top, sometimes in a skeleton onesie, sometimes flying. It's, yeah, I really like it. Really great song as well. But yeah, very funny video. Very DIY. Let's get those little stitches in. There we go. Oh. Oh, the concentration is strong with this one. It's so bad it's brilliant. Yeah, it's like so bad it's come full circle and it's great again. I love it, and I think that song was nominated for some like Grammys or some awards or something as well, which just makes that video even sweeter. Oh, nice. Hello. Welcome. I hope you're having a lovely dinner. Ooh. Oh. Yes. That was hard. I was going to swear, but let's not do that. Keep it clean. I think it's just going to come up around there. Just like that. That looks good to me. Okay. Rolling the sleeves up. It's getting serious. To go for that one, whichever one. This. A bit darker than that. That's our little sorty organised shoe. Yes, it's this one. I put all the thready bits in one place. Okay, you can't see this, but here I have a collection of all of the thready bits that are long and still usable, but this is what happens. Yep. And then above here I've got all of the threads. Can I put them here? All of the colours that I'm using. Okay, organisation. See, when you got someone watching, you got to. Little technical error there. I think I'm back. Okay, I might have got lost for a minute, but I think I saved it. Whew. The lag is weird, but I understand why it's there now. Let's get that there. Hey! I'm on a chair in the dining room. ... sausage casserole. Are you calling me a sausage casserole, or is that's what I assume that's what you're having for dinner, but kind of looks like you're calling me a sausage casserole, which is lovely. I mean, warm, wholesome. Hey John. How are you doing? What have you been up to? How is footy? Hello! With lots and lots of O's. Okay, no more footy for now. Oh, of course. Completely didn't think about that, but of course, no more footy for now. But you can still practice in the garden, right? Like. The Prem, as in like footy on, like big league footy. Yeah, isn't there there was a big game the other day? correct me if I'm wrong. Manchester, Liverpool? Was that one the other day? Because I went for a little wander and there was lots of big fancy tour buses outside one of the hotels in Liverpool, and I was wondering what was going on, and I think that it might have been that the footballers were staying there, and there was a small crowd which some security was trying to disperse, but I think they were waiting for the footies. Yes, yeah, it was, yep. See, I'm on it. Oh, I've just got Kate Bush stuck in my head. It was on the radio this morning and I was singing along. I mean, Kate Bush is hard to sing along to, but it was the one that was like, I just know that something good is gonna happen. And I was like, yeah, just keep singing that, and it's stuck in my head and it's really lovely and I'm happy about it. Thank you, Kate Bush, for existing and bringing your beautiful, wholesome music to the world. Oh. Ooh. Okay, note to self, do not eat big meal before live stream, otherwise you just get loads of little burps on the audio. Well, it adds to it, doesn't it? I'm a human, we're all human, we burp. Okay, cool. What are we? 30 minutes in. Neck is complete. Cloud busting. Oh, is that the Kate Bush song? That's great. They do a thing on Radio 6 which is like a cloud busting, like a little special where they play a few tunes in a row that are really uplifting and positive, and they call it the cloud busting hour or the cloud busting something or other. So I imagine that comes from that song. Aha, the link is made. Everything is connected. Cool, thank you. Yes, that's the song that I've had stuck in my head all day, and I will probably play it. Who am I kidding? I'm definitely going to play it when this is over, as loud as I can. Have a little boogie. Great. So we've got neck is done. I've got a little bit on top of the chin there, which I think is probably more of a pinky colour. So we've got pinky colour. What's happening up there? Maybe a darker one. I'm going to add a bit of this actually. And then I've got to find the greys, which I think I've got some greys. I hope I've got some greys. Looks like a grey. Yeah. Sort of very, there's like a few different colours in there, like a very light grey, and then a sort of darker browny. Actually, that might be good. It's a little bit on the green side. This one. Yeah, I'm sure with much digging I will find the perfect grey. Today's tea is yogi bedtime, and the tag says, "Every smile is a direct achievement." Cloud busting. Beautiful. Okay, so that's quite dark there, that's quite dark, that gets a little bit lighter up there. The tongue of concentration. What shape is that? Little, kind of like a little triangle that goes down, up and down. Okay, let's fill this in. Let's get into the micro stitches that are like 1 or 2 millimeters. It's the tiny ones. Sometimes that's all it takes, is just a tiny little one for it to look really wrong, or a tiny little one for it to look really good. Ah, yes. Cup of tea. Nothing better than a good brew. Looking good. Looking good. Right, let's see. Okay, I think this line that I've done here isn't quite right. It's a little bit too steep, so I'm gonna just go over that, I think. Yeah. Think it more. So often when I make a mistake in embroidery, I'll actually take an unpicker or a tiny pair of scissors and take out the thread that is a mistake. But I feel now the best thing to do actually is to just sew over it, and it will make the thread kind of slightly shaded, because you'll see bits of the darker colour underneath, which I just feel like that's the right thing to do with this particular mistake, or happy accident, as Bob Ross likes to call them. I totally agree, I'm on it. I'm there with you. Yeah, that's a bit more like it. And a little one up here. Yeah, much better head shape. Now I want a really pinky, slightly pinkier than the pinkiest pink that I've got on there at the moment. So I think slightly pinkier than this. Ooh, just jogged that. Put that back. A little bit too pink. So much choice. None of those are singing to me. Not really that one either. Slightly more red than that, but we're getting there. too dark. That's definitely too red. We've gone the other way. The Great Thread Search of 2021. Coming to a cinema near you. And then it's just me looking through boxes of thread for hours. That's entertainment. I'm gonna do this one. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. I think this is the one. Yeah. Is it the same as that? No. Cool. Oh, you're about to give the dog a haircut. Oh, lovely. Well, maybe she'll be soothed by the embroidery live stream while you're cutting her hair, so it'll be less of a faff. Juniper is a dog, just for the for reference. Good luck. good luck indeed. Oh, okay. Van Gogh had a box of wooden threads to test out different colour combinations. That's interesting. I imagine back in that time there weren't as many chemical colourings as we had now, so there were fewer colours available in woolen threads, which I guess in turn would have influenced, well, there were probably fewer paint colours as well, but I mean maybe that influenced his style a bit, giving yourself that limitation. It's chin time. I'm doing a little chin. And I think I'm going to do the same as I did in the last part of last week's live stream, and that is take a very thin, like this is 2 strands, so I'm going to take a 1 strand thread and just patch in the details, like the smile and the eyebrows and the eyes, and just try and just see I can get a greater level of accuracy. I mean this whole face, for reference, if I just pop this through here I can show you. I mean there's my thumb. So it's about the size of my thumb. So it's fairly teeny. No, I've never done faces this small before. I have done a few faces in embroidery, but more in a sort of colourful, more in a sort of cartoonish style, whereas this is kind of as real as realism can get for me with thread at the moment. So I have done embroideries this small, but the last one I did was more of an abstract piece. So this one is it's a new challenge, which is fun. But I think as long as you've sketched it out fairly accurately and you've got a reference photo that you can keep looking at, it's like a life drawing. Like, so long as you're spending more time looking at the thing than looking at what you're drawing, you'll end up with a fairly accurate representation with a bit of practice. Well, check that out. It's a really interesting way of just talking about Van Gogh using woolen threads put together to figure out what colours he was using for a painting, and that's quite an interesting way of doing it. That might be fun experimenting with threads to kind of put them together. I guess with a thread, like, I can see the way the strands are could look a bit like brush strokes. Like, it is one colour thread, but looking at it, there's actually lots of different shades and colours and shiny bits in there. So for Van Gogh especially, I can imagine that would have probably been more useful to him for deciding colours than just having a paint which is flatter than these kind of textured bits. Interesting. Weaving can be used in a similar way. What way? What with the colours, with the colour threads? Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, of course, to test colours with paint was probably too expensive. Paint was really expensive, so you wouldn't be wanting to squish them all out on a palette and see what looks good together. That you'd want to find another way of doing it. Yeah, of course, I hadn't thought of that. That makes a lot of sense. Interesting. I'm not quite sure what that means, putting threads next to each other on a loom, different colours. Oh, I see, because the threads overlap, so it creates the in-between colours. Okay, we're getting technical, techie weaving chat going on here. Yes, I understand now. You see it sometimes with woven fabrics where you have a blue square and a yellow square, just plain blue and plain yellow, and then the square that joins them is green, or it looks green, but if you look closely it's just half of the blue strands and half of the yellow strands coming together. I think, is that what you mean? I think that's what you mean. Weaving is a thing that's still quite new to me. I am trying it. I'm trying lots of different weaving patterns and experiments and different ways of weaving to make kind of fluffy textures or little knots or loops, and it's very fun. I'm enjoying it a lot, but I think I've got a lot of practice to do, and a lot of research before. Well, just got a lot of research to do. It's a journey. It's all a journey. I think I'm actually going to fill in a tiny little gap there that I'm going to fill in with a lighter colour just to highlight this curvature of the skull there. Infinite possibilities. Infinite possibilities. That's what it's about. Yes, I like infinite possibilities. Especially in creativity. It is. You can do anything. You can make anything happen. I love it. I feel like embroidering like this, like you get to know a photograph really well. The last thing I embroidered was a copy of a painting, and I spent so long looking at it. I mean maybe I'll try it, but I imagine I could probably draw it, like I can see it in my head. It's really like, and the same with this image, like I've already spent a good few hours looking at it, and yeah, I'm gonna spend more time looking at it, and I'll just get to know the image really, really well, and all of the colours and shapes, which would be really lovely. Okay, I think I'm done with the pinky red. Maybe one tiny little stitch if it can fit in here. No, that's not gonna fit. Okay. I just zoomed in on Opa's face. What I'll do after this is I will take a photo really close up, because I'm aware on this stream you can't see really close up. Like if I get this camera any closer, it's just gonna get in the way of my elbows. But I'll take a picture and I will put it on the Instagram, and I can send it to you as well, so you can see the detail, all the tiny little stitches, as it grows more and more. Yeah, I hope it will evolve into something lovely. Alright, so actually before I do that, I'm going to go in with just a little highlight, which is on, actually maybe this colour is better. No, lighter. I'm going to go on with a little highlight on, yeah, this curve of the skull, and then the same colour just above the eye, where that bone is. Yeah. And soon I can start working on the hair. Oh, thanks. I didn't realise you could zoom in, but that's really cool. Okay, we are just approaching halfway, so I think I will be able to make a start on the next bit after the face, perhaps. Like, it always takes longer than I think. I've been reading a book about meditation and posture, and I'm trying to be conscious of posture when sewing, so I don't end up curling into a tiny gremlin ball, trying to keep a straight chest and a straight neck. Neck's the hard one. I think I find myself trying to be closer to the work, but I don't need to be, so I try and sit up straight and keep it straight, let the energies flow. Lovely. Great. Looking good, I think. Just fill in. Just noticed a tiny bit where the white of the fabric is peeking through. Don't want any of that. I'm just going to fill in that. I think this is the right colour for it. Oh, hello, little knot there. Oh, I nearly got given a mole there with with a little knot in the thread. Whoops. That would be nice. Maybe the next person to embroider will be a person with lots and lots of freckles, and I can just go wild with the French knots. Fab. Okay, I think that is enough for that one. What's this? That's ready. It's when you start going in, you just see more and more details, but you gotta sort of call it a day at a point and just say, no, that'll do. That'll do, donkey. Right, I'm just going to take my jumper off because I am too hot. back. Cooler. Ooh, much better. Alright, let's squish in here. Little sipper. Little stretch. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Oh, great. Back on with it. Right, so hair. How does the hair go? It seems to be quite dark, and then light, and then medium in the middle. So I'm going to do, that's going to be the medium on the edge there. That's going to be the light. Oh, and this will be the dark one. Cool. Alright, I'm going to do a little thread tidy up. I've got about a bazillion pinks out here. Ground, right, so outside, middle, edge. This is for the details later, maybe this one. Okey-dokes. So this starts. What's that? That starts about there. There's very little of this dark grey. It's just a tiny little sort of hint when it starts. Just kind of, it's just sort of a line in between where the light starts. I'm going to try and be true to that and not overdo it with the dark grey. So this bit actually sticks out quite a lot. mumbling to myself. Oh, the ear sticks out. Yeah, up there. So what I've noticed here is that I've drawn the shape of the head on, not quite accurately. But I don't think it matters too much because I can just kind of change it as I go along. So that is all I'm going to do with that dark grey, just a couple of tiny little lines. Cut that underneath. Keep that bit for a rainy day. Oh, it's today. Oh, it does look grim out there today. How's the dog haircut going? Is it successful so far? Are you doing a before and after picture? Okay, it's hair time. It's high time for hair. High time for hair time. Yes, please do. I'd love to see the new haircut. Now this colour, this grey colour, you can barely see the difference between the white of the background and the grey. But like so. Tech wizard here. Yeah, that's me. I have to watch it back. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it even stopped for any of you, but the internet has cut twice during this stream, and yeah, we've just managed to click on and off and figure it out. But I don't know if has it stopped for you at all. I'd be curious to know, or maybe the lag is just got shorter. I think maybe they put the lag there as a buffer to just in case the stream goes off. I don't know. I'm rambling. I'm figuring this out. If anyone knows about YouTube streaming and wants to teach me a little bit more, I would much appreciate it. hair is looking pretty wild at the moment. Is it Opa or Einstein? That would be some fun hair to embroider. Clipped out once, 6-second chat lag. Thank you. Thanks for your knowledge. What am I going to do with the background? I think what I'm going to do is, well, I'm going to finish the foreground first. And then I think I'm going to choose some colours that complement the foreground, and do the background all one colour, or maybe kind of a gradient colour coming out from the couple and kind of going outwards. I also had the idea of doing some sort of like traditional Dutch motifs. That would require some further research, but I think it might be nice to have some sort of flower motifs or some patterns, and probably also their names, and maybe the date that they were married, or some sort of date. Or I know Oma's embroideries, I said in the last chat, Oma, who's my grandmother, does an embroidery for every grandchild, and on it is their name and their birthday. So I think it would be nice to take some of that information for their embroidery and put it on there. So background undecided as yet, but I've got a few little ideas in the pipeline. If you have any suggestions or ideas, please throw them at me, and I will certainly consider them. Thanks, yeah, I think I'm just going to see. It might be that I don't fancy colouring the entire background in one flat colour, because that could be quite boring, and it's a big space to fill. I mean, considering this space, so far the size of my thumb, has taken nearly 3.5 hours. Doing all of this is going to be quite laborious and a bit dull, so I mean, I might do it, but I think I'm just going to see how I'm feeling and see how the portrait's feeling as well, what it wants. A gradient background, yeah, by a gradient background I mean one colour fading into another colour, fading into another colour very subtly, like a sunset. I'm sure was that a suggestion, or were you questioning what a gradient background is? I'm not sure, but I'm sure you know what a gradient background is. So maybe that was a suggestion. Yes, I thought so. As soon as I started talking, I thought that just you I'm sure this design masters, illustration design master student knows what a gradient background is. Thanks, yeah, that would be great. That would be great. It's nice to maybe pick out some inspiration. That would be great. I'm answering a comment from my mum who says she's going to send me photos of the embroideries that Omar's done for me and my siblings. I think I've got a photograph of my one that I took a few years ago, so I could look at it. But yes, a photo of the others would be really nice. I think they're mainly cross stitch, which is a different sort of embroidery to what I'm doing here, but still, I've put that in slightly too long, it's going to go there. Still inspiring, and I can still use it as inspiration for the background. I don't know if you can hear that. I can hear my housemates saying, yeah, I'll play a board game in a bit. I'll play a board game. Yeah, I'm also up for a board game. Yeah, I'm also up for a board game. Yeah, I mean, all the other grandchildren are welcome to to send theirs as well. But then we're getting into the, I mean, tens or 20s of embroideries. Yeah, lots and lots of grandchildren. Okay, the hair is really making a big difference to the head shape and the general shape of what's going on. So I'm actually much happier now with this, and I'm trying to do the hair directionally, so whatever angle the hair is, that's the angle that I'm putting the thread is, just so that it draws your eye out and round, and like, because it is flat, it's only very slightly textured, but it gives you the illusion of depth. So it's a very conscious, it might look random, but it's a very conscious placement of direction with all these tiny stitches. And here we've just got a very tiny bit of hair that you can see that's visible on the side of the head, so just being really careful not to go too far across. Okay, fasten your seatbelts. There might be some buffering. We're still on. Last week the internet was behaving so well, and this week not so much. But that is simply the way of the world. Woo. Very professional here. Yeah. Okay. Lovely. And then I'm gonna do the darker colour. Just very small. No, I think I want to do the face details first, actually. Change my mind. Oh, bit of a battle against the internet today. Is it going to cut out? Is it going to... Got to keep an eye on it at all times. What's going on? So what I'm doing here is filling in the teeny tiny details of eyebrows, eyes. I mean, in the photo I can sort of just about make out one of the pupils, but I think here it's just too small to get that, so I'm just going to get the sort of general shape of the eye. And just make it a solid little line. So there's one eye, and let's find out where the other one is. and they're happy smiley eyes, so they've got that sort of little curved shape to them. Yep, I think that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. I will probably go over in another colour at some point and do the glasses. I'm going to have a dig round. I've got some metallic threads and some silk threads, just to give it a little bit more interest on the glasses, but I might go over at some point with that. Actually, I didn't really want that stitch there. Let's take that out. Okay. Great. So I think we get started on the shirt. Let's do it. So I've got lots of different blues here, which I'm gonna test out. Yeah, you can have a close-up. I will post a close-up. Do you want a close-up now? Okay, I can try. Yeah, just give me a second. I will. I don't know how well it is going to focus, but let's try this. See how that works. Whoop. Okay. That's not really focusing that well at the minute, but I will take a photo and put it on Instagram when I'm done. Ooh, lots of concentration in that sentence there. I will take a photo. Yeah. So there will be a photo going up, and I can send that to you as well, which will be much better quality than no, it doesn't have a twisty lens. But I will take a photo afterwards, and I will post it on Instagram so you can see. Yeah. I think at some point, if this is the thing that I choose to continue, I will get a slightly different setup with a camera that's maybe like directly above and somehow not in the way, so that you can get a lot more detail and a clearer picture of what I'm doing. But for the moment, this is fine. So colour picking time. Let's have a look. I think that is really good. There's a darker one which is maybe a tad darker than that. Not quite that. Yeah, it's not quite that, but those two colours there, which you can't see, they're here, for the shirt, those two colours go really nicely together, so I think I'm probably going to use those, even though they're not completely accurate to the photo. Artistic decisions. And then we need a really dark blue, which I think it's going to be that one. Grand. Let's get cracking. Okay, so there's some bits here which are slightly more, oh my goodness, pardon me, which is slightly more in shadow than the rest. So there's a shadow under the collar, there's a shadow under the arm here, which I think for the moment I'm just going to do the boldest, brightest sort of pattern of the shirt, kind of on the chest area and across the middle, and then I will swap these three colours for a slightly different three colours to blend in the shadow parts. I think that's my plan. That's my plan of attack for this particular little bit of embroidery. So let's start a nice easy place next to this button. Funny story, well, not funny, maybe funny. When I was experimenting with different camera setups, I did try and attach the camera to my head so that where I moved it would see, but it only really worked if I was staring solidly at the embroidery the entire time and not move my head. And also you could, because I breathe because I breathe, the camera would kind of move up and down, and it was quite disorientating watching it back, doing a little experiment. So I think definitely having static cameras is better than trying to attach them to myself. With this particular medium anyway, for mountain biking or something, it would be different. So I think what I'm going to do now is leave, what am I going to do? I'm going to pull this thread up and I'm going to take the needle out, and I'm just going to leave that thread there. Then I'm going to do the next colour, and then I'm going to pick up that thread again and put it down. I don't know how much sense that makes, but just to save me pulling it down, tying a knot, restarting a new bit of thread, I'm just going to leave it there. One. Leaving that one out, and then take another thread and just keep swapping them over one for one. It's probably really hard to see what I'm doing right now, but I will send a detailed macro shot over in about 15 minutes when I finish, and I'll pop it on my Instagram as well, so you can have a look at what I'm up to. Dipping in and out of connection there. I will see if I can improve that for next week. It might be a case of just asking everyone on this internet to maybe just hold off downloading things just for a couple of hours. Okay, family, I think I'm going to call it a day because my tea is cold and these board games are not going to play themselves. I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me. I have enjoyed focusing on embroidery for a couple of hours. And if you fancy tuning in next week, that would be lovely. Same time, same place. I will put a link on my Instagram and I'll post one to you as well. The earring. Is it the earrings? The earring. Oh, or sewing earrings. The sewing sound is great. I was saying earlier I'm gonna borrow a better mic for next week and try and get it a bit closer so that you can hear all the nice sort of noises that the sewing makes. I find it really meditative as well, like just getting into the sort of process, the repetitive process of embroidery is lovely. So yeah, I'm gonna head off. Thank you for being here and see you next week. I'll send you another reminder. See ya, bye.